Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. Coming up tonight, postseason action rolls on in high school sports. In the Coach's Corner, we're joined by the leader of the Pike girls basketball program after another sectional title for the Red Devils. Plus, our athlete of the week is a senior leader for a top 5 basketball team at Avon.
Mostly by example is how I like to lead, because if people see you doing the right things or they see you doing something, they'll be like, oh, okay, and they want to go follow you.
Excitement is high for a new Zone Extra right now.
What a fun time of year. Good evening and welcome to the Zone Extra. I'm Andrew Chernoff. What a great week of high school sports with plenty of postseason action. In the Coach's Corner, we are joined by the man who just led Pike girls basketball to a second straight sectional title. Red Devils coach Keith Hollins is here. Plus, our athlete of the week is a senior leader for 5th-ranked Avon boys basketball. We'll introduce you to Orioles guard DeAndre Lott-Hancock. And in a different take, our on-campus segment spotlights former Zionsville baseball standout and current Cincinnati Red, Jacob Hurtubise. Now, let's take a look at this week in high school sports. Saturday night, sectional titles were on the line in girls basketball. At Noblesville, it was top-ranked HSE facing Westfield. Fourth quarter, HSE up 3. Rocks do something about that right here. Audra Parker from downtown ties the game. A little later, Royals up 3 once again when they turn defense into offense. Off their turnover, Maya Makaluski misses but stays with it. She cleans it up. HSE wins its first sectional title since 2019. Royals take it 46-38. It was a township rivalry for a sectional title at Lawrence North. Wildcats hosting defending 4A state champ Lawrence Central. LC down 3 here when the Bears go inside to Amaya Sowell. She scores. Bears within 1. Just under 7 minutes to go then in the fourth. Wildcats with it. Brooklyn Roberts says, "You're going to leave me open? Your loss." Hits the triple right there. And guess what, folks? There will be a new 4A state champ this season as the Wildcats beat the Bears 47-42.
It's so excited for my team. They've worked so hard. We've coined that if we'll put it into the process of chopping wood, that this would be the opportunity to cut down nets. They've bought in. We've been battle tested all season with an incredible schedule versus incredible talent, and we've played this team now 3 times. So to be able to get this win tonight, it just really all stacks up and makes it really, really sweet.
Just excitement. Happy for my seniors to keep playing. Want to keep playing, keeping that energy, keep having the same consistency throughout all the games. Just so excited, man.
Awesome stuff right there. And at Cathedral, the Fighting Irish squaring off against Purdue Poly. Irish were up 9 early when Abby Beasley gives it to Tiana Guy. She knocks down the triple. Cathedral up 12. Then Guy another triple right here. Cathedral wins its first sectional title in 20 years as the Irish cruise 64-34. Moving to boys basketball, where the regular season is entering the stretch run. The state tournament will be here before you know it, and we are just a week and a half away from the sectional draw, which takes place February 23rd. On the court last Thursday, it was a top 5 showdown. Number 4 Westfield hosting number 1 Fishers. Second quarter, Westfield's Drew Hafner pulls up from the logo and it goes in. Rocks up 7. Rocks led by 10 at the break. Third quarter, Westfield's Jalen Malone drives to the hoop here and finishes. Westfield's up 15. Fishers not backing down, though. Fourth quarter, Jason Gardner Jr. The basket and the foul. Tigers within 3. Game tied then, under 3 minutes to go. Justin Kirby buries the 3. Tigers win a thriller 67-64 to remain perfect on the season. Now let's take a look at this week's Class 4A boys basketball rankings. Fishers remains number 1. Greenfield Central is second with Anderson, Warsaw, and Avon 3rd, 4th, and 5th, respectively. Moving to the mat, where last Saturday was the regional round of the boys wrestling state tournament. Teams and individuals looking to move one step closer to an appearance at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And it was a good weekend for several Central Indiana teams as they brought home some regional titles. Congrats to Brownsburg as well as Cathedral, Bloomington South, Franklin, Roncalli, and Westfield. The action continues Saturday with the semi-states taking place in East Chicago, Fort Wayne, Newcastle, and Evansville. And in the pool, the girls' swimming and diving state tournament began last week with sectionals, and plenty of local teams are bringing home hardware. Congrats to Carmel, Fishers, Plainfield, Zionsville, Brownsburg, North Central, Greenfield Central, Franklin, and Bloomington South. The state finals begin tomorrow with prelims and continue through Saturday at the IU Indy Natatorium. Time for a break, but we have much more ahead on the Zone Extra. Up next, it's the Coach's Corner. There he is. For the second straight year, his Red Devils are sectional champs. Pike girls basketball head coach Keith Hollins is here. And still ahead, he's a senior leader on a top 5 boys basketball team. We'll introduce you to our Athlete of the Week from Avon High School.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. This is the Zone Extra Coach's Corner.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Time now for our Coach's Corner. His Red Devils captured a sectional title this past week. We want to welcome in Pike girls basketball head coach Keith Hollins. Keith, appreciate the time, my friend.
Nice. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Congratulations. Another sectional title. What do you like about how this Red Devils group right now is playing?
What I love about it is them coming together, and it just preaches on what we've talked about since I got the job, just the family and the sisterhood. And again, you know, we towards the end we kind of went through some injuries and just some health stuff. But then once we got back, we no matter what, we stuck together and we had each other's backs. And again, we're pretty deep, so it's the next woman up.
Back-to-back sectional titles now. I know that doesn't happen a lot at a lot of these schools. You guys accomplished that this year. What's the vibe like with this program now, knowing, hey, look, back-to-back, once again, sectional titles?
The vibe is good. I think right now, just with our girls, they've won the sectional, and then we have a young group, but they want more, and that's the vibe right now. They want more, and again, they were excited. We're always excited. It was a tough game. Avon was really, really tough. Coach Stahl does an excellent job, and then even the road, you know, with Plainfield and Coach Benj. He has a good group too, and then, you know, Brownsburg with Josh. We went against three really good teams.
That's what I was going to say. It wasn't an easy sectional whatsoever with you guys, and still obviously getting through there was a big thing. Obviously, there's the Avon game the other night. But before that Plainfield game on Friday, I want to ask about that. Kamari Booker, you guys had I guess down to the wire victory. She scores at the buzzer to even get you to that sectional championship game. What was that like as a coach when that all was transpiring?
The belief. We've ran that play plenty of times. We were supposed to get it. It was supposed to be pinned down for Marley, but we knew if we don't have Marley's second option is where where Kamari's supposed to flash up and then sweep to go left. Well, we passed it obviously with 3.2 seconds. Sanaya made that great pass, that dime right into it, and you know Kamari knew I just got to go score. So it was amazing to see that, and honestly to see Kamari win another game winner, because she did at the beginning of the season against Avon. So
crazy stuff right there, and this team just keeps winning. I want to ask you about this group in particular. What do you like most about this year's Pike Red Devils?
The love and the sisterhood. And obviously, you know, it comes with, when you have a love and sisterhood, it comes with the support. Just from our administration, our superintendent is great, our principal is great. It's just when they show us support and the love, it just falls down to our team, and it's just the love for each other, and that's what they do. How
much does that make your job easier, knowing just how close this group is?
It makes my job easier, but sometimes it's tough because they stick together. When they're not happy about something, they all 20 of them come at me and like, we're not happy. So I was like, okay, I respect that.
Yep. So that's when you turn on those listening ears, because it's a numbers thing at that point. Keith, this is your third year, which I'm sure it's crazy already at Pike. Since you took over, just how have you grown?
I've grown a lot. Again, this program, I was assistant coach before I became the head coach. I was under Scott White, who was great, but just before that, I was under some great head coaches. Andy McGuire was at Zionsville. We went to the state championship in 2018 with Maddie Nolan in that group. And then before that, before I came to Zionsville, I was with Bob Angelo, who also went to the state championship in 2017 with Pike. So I've been I've been under some great head coaches, and I've had some great mentors who've helped me. So for me, how much have I grown in 3 years? I've grown a lot, and I think the key word is patience. I've grown. I've got a lot of patience just with everything, you know, because you never know what's going to come at you. You just got to be level-headed in any decision you do.
And it's been working out, obviously, back-to-back sectional championships now for Pike. Up next, you all have Franklin Central. This game will be taking place on Saturday, 4 o'clock from that regional matchup. I was at that Flashes game against Center Grove last week. Saw them firsthand. They're a pretty good team, but what challenges do those Flashes pose to you guys?
I mean, they're a really good team. They're really, they have DeVos, the sophomore, 6'2". She's really good, has a nice touch around the rim. With their leading scorer, Lily Graves, who was really tough. Again, I'm happy that she came back and she didn't tear her ACL. But they're really tough. And again, what people don't realize, we played them down to the wire last year in the sectional. So, they do a good job, and they wouldn't be here without being a great team and beating a really, really good Center Grove team.
As it's going to be fun as Franklin Central and Pike played each other last year in the postseason, get to do it again this year. And it's going to be a fun one for sure. Decatur Central, the side of that game, coming up Saturday, 4 o'clock. Keith, appreciate the time, my friend. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the postseason.
I will.
Still ahead on the Zone Extra, it's time for us to shift gears to Athlete of the Week. He's a senior leader for a top 5 boys basketball team at Avon. Coming up, meet Orioles forward DeAndre Lott-Hancock. Plus, in our on-campus segment, we connect with Zionsville High School grad and current Cincinnati Red, Jacob Hurtubise.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. It's been an incredible season for the Avon boys basketball program. The Orioles, 16-2 on the year, ranked 5th in the state in this week's poll. A key reason for that success has been the play of senior DeAndre Lott-Hancock. For the season, Lott-Hancock is 3rd on the team in scoring at 12 points per game. He also leads the Orioles in rebounding at nearly 8 per game, and as well as steals. Lott-Hancock says he's enjoyed the college recruitment process as he looks to play at the next level. However, his current focus is solely on this year's Avon team and helping lead that team that has high aspirations.
I'm not really a vocal type of guy. I'm a little shy, so mostly by example is how I like to lead, because if people see you doing the right things or they see you doing something, they'll be like, oh, okay. And they want to go follow you because you're doing, what's expected.
His effort's never in question. He's always going to be one of the hardest workers in the gym. So he's doing that to start and show our younger kids as well as our seniors how hard to really work. But, he's quiet by nature, but I think he knows the importance of a senior season and what this means to all 6 of our seniors.
Being a senior, you build that leadership up, and it helps guys on the court, your team, be able to know, what's going on and make sure we're all staying focused in the court and on school. And then also it helps the younger kids as well. They're being able to see how we are, how we act.
DeAndre is one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet. He'll go out of his way, help anybody walking through the hallways, says hello to all our administration. Our administration teachers all love him. I don't think he's ever had a missing assignment either in class.
We haven't been getting much recognition, and this year we've been getting a lot, so we just want to keep that growing for the next few years, even when I'm gone, because this school needs a lot more recognition. We're better than what people think that we are.
That is a solid basketball team in Avon this season. Congrats to DeAndre. Do not forget, Wish TV's got a brand new sports app. Get out your phones right now, scan the QR code on your screen, and download the completely free All Indiana Sports app. You can find more on this story, plus all things Central Indiana High School sports and much more. Get the All Indiana Sports app today. Time for a break, but still more to come on the Zone Extra, including our Play of the Week. Plus, it's the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Now it's time for our on-campus feature where we catch up with a former Central Indiana High School athlete. This week, instead of going to college, though, we're going up to the pros. Zionsville High School grad Jacob Hurtubise made his major league debut with the Reds last summer after being called up from AAA Louisville. Hurtubise played collegiately for Army at West Point, Earlier this month, he was part of the Reds caravan that came through Indy ahead of the new season. And as Hurtabees heads to Arizona this month for spring training, he says he's thankful for what got him to this point.
It's been an incredible journey so far. Coming from Indiana, I think a lot of people think of the Floridas and the Californias and Texas. Those are the guys that can play almost year-round. But it's just been super exciting to make it all the way to the big leagues coming from Zionsville. I've had a ton of support from family and friends and just from the community. So it's great to be back here and just see so many Reds fans supporting me.
So ready for baseball season. Now it's time for our Ask the Commissioner segment. Each week we take one of your questions to IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. Here's this week's question. Do you have a specific former Indiana high school sports star you were most excited to follow on his or her professional journey?
That's a tough one because there have just been so many. And, I think about one of the things that I first remember was that, and this is not necessarily high school, but it was an Indiana kid, was that Larry Bird run through the Indiana State and being able to make it to the national championship game and then being able to do what he did in Boston. So following Larry Bird was important for me. But there's so many players that I wanted to emulate, Oscar Robinson and Larry Bird. And there, it was just an amazing time. And then today, it really becomes all of them, because I love the success of our high school athletes in the state of Indiana. The Lily Kings of the world who came out of Evansville, which is my hometown. Lily's high school didn't even have a swim pool. They swam at a municipal facility in Evansville, and she was able to not make any excuses and just found a way to become a world champion with the roots of that. And then Cole Hawker recently, again, another Olympic champion. And there's just so many. And I just love seeing the Indiana kids that grow up in Indiana schools, their communities, and being able to play on a big stage. But, if I had to, I think, Larry Bird was certainly a big one in my life to say, hey, a kid from small town Indiana could do great things.
Thanks again to the Commissioner for joining us. Here's how you can submit questions. Send us a tweet using the hashtags #TheZoneExtra and #AskTheCommish, and your question could be used on a future show. Now it's time to take a look at our Play of the Week. Each week, we feature one of the top plays from the world of high school sports in Central Indiana. Plus, we'll tell you how your video can be featured on a future show. Here's this week's top play. Girls sectional semifinals. We talked about this earlier. Pike tied with Plainfield. Final seconds. Kamari Booker spins and lays it in to beat the buzzer as the Red Devils win a thriller. Insanity there. Now our crews see a lot of great action, but we want to see your best plays every week too. Your video could be featured on a future edition of the Zone Extra as our Play of the Week. So here's what to do. Just download the new All Indiana Sports app, and within the app you can submit your plays. Then tune in here on Thursday nights to see if your submission receives our Play of the Week. And a reminder, MyNDTV 23 is your local home for high school sports. Coming up tomorrow night, it's a Hamilton County clash on the boys basketball court as Carmel hosts Hamilton Southeastern. The Royals won this matchup last year by 6 points. You can see all the action live on MyNDTV tomorrow beginning at 7:30. And it's a big night of high school basketball all across Central Indiana. We, of course, will have highlights, scores, and so much more in the Zone beginning tomorrow night at 11:08. So let's take a look at some of the big boys games that we'll be covering tomorrow on the Zone. Center Grove taking on #1 Fishers. Franklin Central against Avon. Brownsburg against Noblesville. Lawrence North Ben Davis, that's going to be a good one. And then North Central taking on Pike. Busy night of basketball tomorrow across the state of Indiana. That's going to do it for us tonight, though, on the Zone Extra. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in again next Thursday night for a brand new episode. And again, a reminder, we'll see you tomorrow night beginning at 11:08 right here for the Zone. For even more Central Indiana high school sports coverage, download the All Indiana Sports app. Have a great night.